What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today I'll be showing you how you can earn 75 Spoils of Conquest each and every week as a solo Guardian. And on top of this, you'll be able to rack in a ton of raid weapons and armor in the process. Gathering teams to knock out all of the different raids each and every week can be harder than it sounds, but you still want to be able to farm for god rolls of those awesome weapons and get better drops of their armor. And in order to unlock many of the exotics within the tower kiosk, or to purchase weapons and armor from the raid vendors themselves, you'll need a good amount of Spoils of Conquest. So by taking less than an hour out of your time each week, you'll be able to farm 75 Spoils of Conquest out of 10 different raid chests on 3 different characters, giving you a total of 30 raid chests that you can loot each week without ever having to rally a team. Not all of these chests reward Spoils of Conquest though. Some of them will just reward raid weapons, armor, or mods. Raids that feature craftable weapons do offer the chance of dropping red border versions of their weapons. These chests will only reward weapons and armor that you've already gotten from any previous run-throughs. So with that in mind, let's check out all of the raid chests that you can farm each week. I will be leaving timestamps in the description below, so you can easily skip to whichever chest you may be in need of. I would recommend having Strand Grapple and a sword with Eager's Edge to make things a lot easier on yourself. The ability to well and shatter skate will come in handy with many of these chests, but it's not a requirement by any means. In fact, I'm actually not well skating in any of today's footage, just so you can all see how to get these chests without well skating. We're starting with the Vault of Glass, because I've gotten quite a few comments on my previous solo raid chest video that some of you have had issues acquiring one, if not both, of the chests at the beginning of this raid. The first chest is going to be accessed through an out-of-bounds glitch that can be found to the right of your original spawn-in location. We'll need to locate this border that's flush up against this broken wall. We'll need to back a sparrow into this small corner space so we can wedge ourselves out of the map. As of Season of the Witch, this still works. You need to make sure that your sparrow isn't too big. Back all the way into the corner and dodge to your left. At the same time, you need to jump off of your sparrow. When done correctly, you'll fall straight through the map. This is where grapple and swords will come in handy, because you need to swing over to the rock structure to your right. Once you're there, just follow along the underside until you can jump back up on top of this big rock structure. Jump up a few more blocks, then cross the gap and get to the black wall in the far back. Follow along the wall until you get to the end. Dive off and fall into the Trials of Kabir, where you would have been if you had completed the opening encounter. From here, you can simply follow the normal path to get to the first hidden chest. The second chest that we'll be farming is the very first chest out of this raid, meaning we will be soloing the first encounter. This sounds a lot harder than it actually is, because in order to solo this first encounter, all you need to do is blast the heads off of the Minotaur that spawn in to take back control of the Vex plates once you've taken them over. In total, there will be 3 Minotaur that you need to pop the heads off of. Stasis and Void Invisibility can certainly help you out. Once the heads of these Minotaur have been popped off, they will no longer follow their objective and will mindlessly follow you. Once you've gained control of all 3 plates and have gained the attention of the 3 Minotaur, you'll need to wait about 45 seconds to a minute so that the doorway will unlock and the encounter will be completed, granting you access to the very first chest and access to the hidden chest without having to utilize the out of bounds glitch. The next chest we are going to be grabbing comes from the Root of Nightmares. You'll need the checkpoint for Nezarec, but you can use the D2 checkpoint bot to obtain this. I'll leave a link in the description below. Once you've spawned in, you'll need to turn around and backtrack all the way back to the planet's encounter. We can't go back through the planet's encounter, but we can use a spot towards the back wall after the planet's encounter itself to squeeze out of the map and then go over and around. We'll be using this route to get back into the Cataclysm Zone, where the second hidden chest is located. Once you've gotten to the Cataclysm Zone, you'll need to locate the doorway that leads you into the planet's encounter. Go into the doorway to force the Cataclysm Zone to load. You may need a wipe to force this to happen, and when you spawn back up, you may be on the other end of the zone, with crux bumpers that won't be functional, which is why Grapple and Eager Edge is going to be very beneficial here. Thankfully, the Darkness wipe mechanic will not be active either, so you can take your time here. Once you've gotten to the room for the hidden chest, be sure to shoot the crux just outside. This one does take about 10 to 15 minutes to access, but with 15 Spoils of Conquest as a reward, it's well worth the time and investment to get all 3 of your characters through it. And the more times you run through it, the more efficient you'll become. Our next chest comes from the Vow of the Disciple. We'll be accessing the first hidden chest within the first transit encounter. After defeating the Shade of Savathun, you'll be able to enter the Pyramid Arena. You'll need to locate the 3 different cruxes and shoot them to unlock the hidden chest towards the end of the route. As you're trying to get these cruxes, you'll have to contend with the weight of darkness, but you can circumvent this by defeating the 3 abominations at the starting point of this encounter. This will remove the weight of darkness and make it much easier for you to navigate through. Our next raid chest is the last chest that will reward Spoils of Conquest. The others will just be rewarding weapons and armor. This chest comes from Crota's End, and there's two ways you can go about accessing this first chest. You can get one friend to join and help you trade the chalice at the beginning of the raid so that you can get access to the pit and get to the first hidden chest. Otherwise, if you have an alternate device that you can log into Destiny from, which even smartphones and tablets provide various ways of doing this. Once you've gotten access to a second device, you can have a secondary account, join your main character, and you can use this ghost account solely as a means of transferring the chalice so that you can form the bridge. You can also use this secondary account to stay behind within the pit while you swap characters and access this first hidden chest on all three of your main account's characters. So between the two chests out of Vault of Glass, the one from Root, Val, and Crota, we have ourselves 75 Spoils of Conquest that are farmable each week. But there are still raid chests out there offering plenty of goodies, such as the Last Wish raid. This raid offers two different chests that you can easily access as a solo guardian, and the benefit to doing this now is that the Last Wish has red border weapons. Both chests can be accessed via the wish wall at the beginning of the raid or through the D2 checkpoint bot. The first chest will be located on the bridge before the Shurochi encounter, and the second chest will be after the Shurochi encounter. The chest on the bridge is a bit easier to get to. It just requires you to double back and get to the chest on the pillar, which is about midway down the bridge. The second chest, though, requires you to jump across a huge gap at the start of the Morgoth encounter to get back to the second hidden chest. This is where well skating can come in handy, but so can strand grapples and an eager edge sword. The next chest that we'll be looking at is another chest that will offer red border weapons. This one is out of the Deepstone Crypt, and to get to this chest, you'll need to navigate your Sparrow across the frozen labyrinth. This one can be tricky, at least until you get familiar with the route. Once you've managed to get all the way through, you'll find the hidden chest in the rocks towards the ledge, just to the right of the exit door. The final two chests that we'll look at today are honestly not really worth it. Not right now at least. The Garden of Salvation has no red border weapons, and its hidden chests do not reward Spoils of Conquest. But if you're just out for the adventure and wanting to get some of the loot, then have at it. In the future, if Garden of Salvation ever gets red borders, then this will become a very lucrative farm. The first chest can be tricky to get to. You'll have to swing across the opening area and then run across the flower fields. You'll have to slide into a small sliver of space that gets you out of the map, and then into the undergrowth, where you'll have to navigate through the underside until you can force the zone to fully load. Once you can do that, you'll be able to navigate as you normally would to get to the first hidden chest. The second chest is probably just as complicated, if not more so. You'll have to navigate to the back wall structure that's referred to as the hedges in the next encounter of Garden of Salvation. This whole area is like a big baseball field. There's a huge wall structure at the very back, and you can use grapple or stasis crystals to climb up. If you can pull it off, you can even use a slower velocity rocket launcher and grapple onto the rocket and shoot yourself straight up. Once you've made it to the very top, you have to be careful where you step, because most of every inch of this area is an out-of-bounds zone, which will give you the turn back prompt. You need to be lightning fast, and you need to cross this platform and drop back down into the map before the turn back timer goes off. This is where you would normally be after defeating the first boss. Once you've done that, the hard part is over. Now it's just a hop and a skip through the normal pathway to get to the final hidden chest, which you'll find this one just before getting into the final boss encounter. You'll find this chest nestled into a tree, and you can use some of the nearby branches to hop up and get to the chest. And with that, we have now covered 30 total chests that you can access each and every week, with a total of 75 Spoils of Conquest as a reward. So if you haven't been doing this already, make sure you add this to your to-do list each and every week. And with that being said, I wish you all the best of luck throughout the rest of this season. If you're having any issues accessing any of these chests, then be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Thank you as always for checking out today's video. I hope it's helped. If so, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.